today I'll be the one to we're first discussing about chapter 4, the rule of grammar or putting grammar in its place. So there will be two topics which will be discussed later. So A, learning does not become acquisition, and B, the place of grammar. So learning does not become acquisition. In the previous lesson, I attempted to make clear what learning does and what it does not do in a second language performance. So according to Monitor Model of Performance, conscious learning acts as an editor, as a monitor, correcting errors or what the performers perceives errors in the acquired system. So a very important point to be stated is that learning does not turn acquisition. So why is it? The idea that we first learn new rule is eventually through practice acquire it, and it's widespread and it seems to some people through obvious way of learning. So um, Carroll 1966 stated that once the student has a proper degree of cognitive control over the structure of a language, facility will develop automatically with the use of language in meaningful sentences. So, sorry. Um, she said that if a person cognitive capacity takes control over a certain situations in his life or in her life, facility will develop automatically. So he will automatically um, um, adapt to the situation in order to use his cognitive ability to um, have a to use the language in a meaningful situation says. And also we have a process called internalization. So this process is the process of converting learned rules into acquired rules. So this is what happens when about what has Carl 96 stated. So there are three reasons doubting acquisition requires learning. So first, we often see acquisition in cases where learning never occurred. So in that sorry. So there are many performers who can use complex structures in a second language who do not know the rule consciously. So many individuals who can perform excellent in second language or the second language, but they do not know the rule consciously by themselves. They are just um, showing their um, competency, but they do not aware by themselves that sorry, they know the proper rules of basic of the language. And also second, we also see learning never seems to become acquisition. So in the second reasons we use many find sorry about that. Many find English second language performers while they have acquired a great deal of English, also known as conscious rules. They nevertheless make what they consider to be careless errors on those that are linguistically quite straightforward. So it was the same as performers has learned rules but not acquired it. And the third reason is the fact that even the best learners master only a small subset of rules of a language. My explanation of this phenomena is that while learning may often precede acquisition, it need not, and it in fact may not even help directly. Rather, we acquire along a fairly predictable natural order, and this occurs when we receive comprehensible input. So occasionally we learn certain rules before we acquire them, and this gives us the illusion that the learning actually caused the acquisition. Now we will go to the first lesson of the session, present progressive tense. So what is present progressive tense? It is used to describe activities that is in progress right now, to refer to events that are taking place, to describe actions that are repeated or regular. So um, the present progressive tense has three meanings. And first one is a current ongoing action that will be soon completed. Second is action that began some time ago and may or not be taking place at the moment, and may end sometime in the future. And the third is future tense. So here we have the familiar time flow diagram, that this will be the diagram that we are using in identifying those three ambiguous ways, or those three meanings of present progressive tense. So the first, these are the three ways ambiguous. So we will use the sentence, John is playing the violin. So this is just an example. So the first one is, what is that noise in the other room? So John is playing the violin. That is the first ambiguous way. Second is, what's John doing this summer? So that is the second way, or the second ambiguous way. He's playing the violin for the local symphony. And the third is, um, what's John doing tomorrow? So he's playing the violin in the show, in the talent show. Those are the three ways I'm used in identifying the present progressive tense. So now we'll go to the second topic that will be discussed. So it is the place of grammar. So what is grammar? Grammar is a term used as a synonym to conscious learning. So first, it can be so these are the two usage of grammar. It can be used with some puppet as a monitor, and it can be as a subject or for language appreciation, of sometimes called linguistics. So first is grammar for monetary use, as stated in the previous lesson in the hypothesis 3 yata. So one of our goals in pedagogy is to encourage optimal monetary use. So we students would like to be learned to utilize conscious rules to raise the grammatical accuracy when it does not interfere with communication. As mentioned earlier, one necessary condition for successful monitor use is time. So it takes real processing time to remember and apply conscious rules, and should not expect to us, both students, to successfully apply those conscious rules, because we have an anxiety about talking using the English second language. So um, other uses of the monitor in trying to avoid this plan their next appearance while their conversational partner is talking. So you tend to plan the conversation that we will conversate to your um, partner while he's still talking. So that's a way of um, doing a conversation in the conscious learned language rules. So, but the disadvantage for that is that we do not pay all the attention to what the other person is saying. So some people are better that unmonitors use and may actually be able to use a fair number of conscious rules in line. So some people can use conscious grammar to great advantages, and the second use of the grammar, the place for grammar, will be discussed by the next reporter who will discuss about it. So that's all, guys. Thank you.